On Overdrive today, we find out what makes the GLE AMG a symphony of style, luxury and performance. We take a closer look at the new Hero Xtreme 125R and catch up with Skoda India's boss to know more about the exciting new compact SUVs for India. Hello and welcome to Overdrive. I am Soini Dutt. The Mercedes GLE has been given a facelift recently, and by extension, the AMG Coupe variant of it receives all the goodies as well. So now it remains a symphony of style, luxury and performance. Here's Rohit with more.
It's a Monday and we are the Blues. But don't let this blue color fool you. This is not an electric from Mercedes-Benz. If anything, it's on the other end of the spectrum. This is an AMG. Say hello to the GLE 53 Coupe from 2024.
The GLE was given a facelift recently, so by relation, this AMG-tuned coupe has received some of those goodies as well. As before, it remains a symphony of style, luxury and power.
Right, let's talk about the looks. The GLE 53 AMG is like a well-dressed rock star. It grabs attention even without trying. That imposing grille, that massive bumper, it's got that "don't mess with me" AMG look. You even get an AMG logo on the bonnet. That's a nice touch. Interestingly, however, that logo doesn't find its way in the engine bay. This is still the mass-produced M256 engine from the GLE 450 or the GLS 450. It's not hand-built, and that's why there is no autograph from an AMG engineer on it.
The adaptive LED headlights are new with distinctive 4 daytime running lights, and that design is mimicked in the tail lights as well. The muscular rear haunches, that imposing AMG grille and the 21-inch alloy wheels with the mixed tires are elements that are unchanged. But these are also accessories that complete the ensemble. Step inside and you're met with a familiar cockpit that continues to scream high-tech luxury. The new steering wheel is borrowed from other AMGs and is full of buttons, dials, touch-sensitive surfaces and even little screens. How cool is that? The steering wheel is equipped with 2 dedicated shortcut controllers on each side. The right controller facilitates the seamless transition between the distinct driving modes: Comfort, Sport, Sport Plus, Individual and Slippery for those snowy or rainy conditions. Meanwhile, the screen to the left will offer controls over various aspects of the vehicle's dynamics. This includes the adjustment of the suspension maps, manipulation of the exhaust valves if you want it to be a little loud, modulation of the ride height, raising or lowering, toggling the ESP on or off, and the option to deactivate the automatic engine start-stop functionality. The vehicle boasts top-notch fit, finish and build quality, living up to the expectations for its class. It may be an AMG sports car on stilts, but seamlessly blends in luxury and comfort, offering even heated and cooled seats up front, albeit with some firm cushioning. The boot space also remains unchanged.
There's ample rear room for family and friends, but it's not going to be as opulent as the standard GLE SUV, especially if you're going to be a 6-footer. The headroom may not be great. Oh, and also, if you do take your family and friends on these really fast drives around winding roads, be advised, there's nothing to grab onto. It's only the seat belts that are going to hold them in place. So I think the only family that I will take for a drive in this car is my in-laws. These air vents seem like they came from the GLS, and then you also have the air balance package, which gets you this fragrancing system and cup holders, which can be temperature controlled. All of this comes together to enhance the in-cabin experience.
Now let's talk about the heart of this car, the 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 engine. Hit the ignition and you are greeted with a growl that's music to any petrol head's ears.
Even though this sound is routed through the speakers, amplified and whatnot, it's something nice. It will put a smile on the face of every car enthusiast, whether you're sitting here or listening to it from the outside. And then you have the 2nd generation ISG or integrated starter generator. It's like a bass guitarist. It will add to the drama. It will also garner better responses. In fact, this is one of the replacements for 2024, the new ISG. That will add about 20 PS or 200 Newton meters of boost when you need it. What that means is it can go from standstill to 100 in 5 seconds. Of course, it's not a V8, but listen to it, and it's got the figures as well. 435 PS, 560 Newton meters. That's better output than even a Cayenne Coupe. That's also because they're not selling us the turbo yet, but even when they do, these are still going to be respectable figures.
The 9-speed Autobox, the air suspension, the all-wheel drive, they all make every drive a spirited one. Dial the comfort mode and it can be a courteous daily driver as well. Switch to the sport modes and it will torch the tarmac. Despite tipping the scales at 2.3 tons, this coupe handles corners like it is on rails.
A slew of electronics and the anti-roll system. It's like your guardian angel when you're pushing the car around bends. And the adaptive suspension will make you feel like you're an angel yourself from heaven, floating on a nice cushy cloud. That's the kind of cushy ride or luxurious ride it gives you on the poor surfaces. It's surprisingly good.
On the highway, it transforms into a long-distance champion, munching miles like a hungry hog. The adjustable damping settings and the 4MATIC Plus all-wheel drive system make it a joy to drive, whether you're cruising or carving corners.
Now the nitty-gritty is, at a starting price of about 1.85 crore, it's not your run-of-the-mill GLE. But then again, you're not buying a run-of-the-mill luxury SUV, are you?
AMG GLE has received frequent price updates over the years, but given its comparison with its rivals, it's got more horsepower and a long list of features. It more than justifies its price tag. We'll be back very shortly to tell you all about the new Hero Xtreme 125R. Welcome back here with us on Overdrive. Now, the Hero Xtreme 125R does not set new benchmarks when it comes to the 125cc commuter space, but it does bring together all the niceties that you would expect from a 125cc power commuter. Here's Rohit with more.
We are at the Hero World 2024 event where they have launched the new Xtreme 125R. Now, the vehicle has been spied a lot of times. It's finally out of the box. I think it looks great. The Xtreme is a popular model in Hero's lineup, and now it is back with a new 125cc engine. So this engine, to address that quick factor, there's something that we saw even with the Xtreme 160 where they called it one of the quickest motorcycles. So with the 125, you're looking at a 0 to 60 time of under 6 seconds, 5.9 seconds to be precise. And it puts out about 11.5 PS of power. It's a single cylinder engine, of course, air cooled, pretty upright. And that is what you get. You also get the Kickstarter with it. And you can see all the controls right here. Now that exhaust is a very stubby little exhaust, but quite neatly designed, quite neatly tucked away. In terms of suspension, you're looking at 37mm standard forks. And you're looking at a monoshock suspension that has been built in collaboration with Showa. In terms of the wheel sizes, you're getting 17 inches, both front and rear. The rear is a fat 120 section tire, the front is a 90/90. There are going to be multiple colors available for this motorcycle. What you see here is the red. There's also going to be a blue. You're going to get LED headlights, LED blinkers, LED taillights as well. So these are your bi-beam projector lamps. You're also going to get these LED DRLs. These are the daytime running lights that's going to light up when you switch on the motorcycle. What you'll also notice is the split seat design. I quite like the design of the rear as well. It's a very nice sporty design. You get LED taillights, like I said, you get the split grab handle, split seats, you get this wheel hugger down below. All of it looks quite nice. I think in terms of the styling, they have done a really good job. They haven't just taken the Xtreme 160R and just bolted on a smaller engine in it. No, they haven't done that. They've given it a pretty unique styling, and that should keep the owners of the 125 and the 160 happy.
We had the opportunity to take the Xtreme for a few laps around Hero's handling circuit. The 125R performs impressively on its mix of fast and tight corners. The wide tires, which are broader than the OG 223cc Charismas, allow it to lean smoothly without feeling unnerving. Whether navigating bends or dusty public roads, the tires and the nimble chassis will provide excellent grip. The front end is light, and the braking on the ABS model instills confidence even at higher speeds, making it the preferred variant for better safety.
What I really like about the motorcycle is the light feel it gives you. And I'm not talking only about the weight. Yes, it is a lightweight motorcycle, but everything, the clutch, the brake lever feel, even the throttle response is nice and linear. All of that just makes it feel like a very easy to manage motorcycle, a light motorcycle for your everyday commutes. And that is exactly what a 125 should be. At the same time, because given its sporty dimensions or its sporty styling, it also has to have a little bit of that sporty character when you're out on the road, right? And it achieves that quite nicely. For example, the suspension setup. It's nice and soft to make your commutes a comfortable one. But at the same time, if you were to show it some corners, maybe take it for a few weekend rides with your buddies, it's not going to disappoint. For a 125, I think it does its job quite well. It reminds me of the TVS Raider in more than one thing. Of course, the Raider is a bit more powerful compared to this, but this doesn't really leave me wanting for much.
While the engine lacks the power of the TVS Raider, it is refined for a 125cc single and sounds better than the tinny exhaust of its immediate rival. The engine is peaky and the best performance lies in the 7 to 9000 RPM range, but it handles slow speeds well, and even with a pillion, it should be fine, offering good fuel economy. The wide rear seat should be comfortable for long city commutes, accommodating side saddling for sari-clad ladies, thanks to the tastefully designed sari guard, which certainly deserves a mention. With more seating and knee room than the TVS Raider, riders with a larger frame may prefer the Xtreme 125R. The low seating should accommodate riders of varied sizes. Priced at around 1.15 lakh rupees for the base variant or 1.2 lakh rupees on road for the top-end ABS model, the Xtreme 125R offers excellent value for money in the 125cc power commuter segment.
Well, it's time for us to head into our final break here on the show. But coming up on the other side, we catch up with Skoda Auto India's brand director to know more about the new SUVs coming our way. Stay with us, you're watching Overdrive. Welcome back, you're with us on Overdrive. Now, Skoda Auto India has plans to introduce two new SUVs in the Indian market. One will be in the compact sub-4 meter space and one will be in the EV space. Now, we caught up with Skoda Auto India brand director Petr Janeba to know more about these two products.
Hello, Peter. Thank you so much for speaking to Overdrive and congrats on the success that the Skoda brand has seen so far in India.
My pleasure.
Now,
Thank
you made quite a few major announcements today. So, we'd like to talk a bit more about that. So, this new compact SUV that you've spoken of, can you give us, just for our audience, a brief timeline of when they can expect it to come to India?
Yeah, I cannot be really 100% precise, but the precise would be that 1 year exactly from now. So the countdown should start and it should be like end of February. This is the target time we want to really launch the car as it should be launched. So it will be really born with all pricing, start of sales, having the demo cars available for our customers in the network, having the first cars available as a free stock for sales. And this is how the journey will become in 1 year time.
Okay, and going on further, now you will be entering a segment that is quite crowded now. I mean,
Yes.
almost everyone has an offering in that segment. So how will Skoda differentiate itself in this market?
So it's a very good question because we understand the Indian customer is very demanding. At the same time, we should have never missed this opportunity because we understand that there is over 63% of all the new car buyers in 2023 who bought a sub-4 meter car. And we did not have any offer there. And we understood we must be there. So the car is design-wise already going more our new way, the modern solid way. So it's definitely not a Kushaq smaller brother. It's the car with a solid, bold identity of Skoda. And we are happy to bring it next year. So we think bringing the platform from the higher segment to this segment is definitely something what will be a real value. So the customers will understand having a very powerful and efficient and reliable TSI technology engines, having the platform which will still within the wheelbase which we will provide for this car make an ultimate space inside of the car and comfort, bringing the safety within our obligatory 5-star NCAP ranking. All these things, like taking care about the customers, should be something new in the segment. I mean, we are not alone there with such a brand promise, but we do it our own way. And it was always our mission to democratize the mobility with a European technology on an Indian roads. And this car is a real ambassador of this statement, what we are now bringing.
Okay, great. And you also said that Skoda will account for 5% sales of the Indian market, you said, by 2030. So how much of that will come from this particular model?
A part of the compact SUV, which we bring in 1 year time, which is definitely more than doubling our current volume. So we will be definitely close to 3%. There are like 2% still missing to 5%. Yeah? And we think government is right, asking all the manufacturers going for a very ambitious target until 2030 with EVs only at least 30%. If we do the right measures on the right time, even if it is a very ambitious target, it's still achievable. And if some more clarity about the regulation is coming at the right time, Skoda definitely brings the EV portfolio, which is the second biggest contributor to this growth.
So just to go forward with the EV thing, because I had it in my list as well.
Okay.
So how is that project coming along? The last time I spoke to some Skoda representatives, they said that you will look to heavily localize it. So is that still the plan?
I mean, there are only these three possibilities how to bring EVs to India. CBU possibility, we understand, is not the preferred option, but we will still use it for our biggest SUV, which is a 7-seater, the biggest Skoda EV. But there will be other 2 EVs, which we will bring from Europe as a parts and components cars for our second factory. However, the biggest volume will be done on A0 EV, which will be deeply localized and manufactured in Pune. When, how the car will look like, and how much will it cost, we don't know today. It's a little bit too early.
Then a lot of your brand's sort of credibility in India has been built on cars like the Octavia and the Superb. A lot of us like those cars a lot. So do you have any plans for those cars?
Definitely. I mean, Octavia built Skoda brand in India. This is the car of Skoda in India. We have over 70,000 customers daily and handling the steering wheel of Octavia, and most of them would like to still have a next Octavia in their customer journey, and we need to bring it back. The same for new Super. I mean, for Octavia, it's very important to say that this car will even extend the life cycle in Europe until 34, and that's why there is a big opportunity now to bring it in India. We are looking for the right powertrain, and at the same time, the new Superb is a completely new journey. So both cars will probably come with parts and components, which still need some time for preparation.
We think this whole idea of letting your buyers and fans name your new car, it's a great idea. So do you have a favorite car, a name that you would like to pick?
I don't want to influence the people. I think it should be really each other wish and voice. But if you ask me about mine, I will tell you, mine is quick, because I think this should be like fastest way to European mobility on Indian roads, and this nice should idea, quick represent. And I like this IQ in the end, like it's a clever decision to buy a Skoda. So I see a lot of association which resonates with me, but I'm not someone who will buy the car in India. That's why I really leave it up to the potential customers and fans to vote for their own name.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for
Thank you very much.
With that, it's a wrap on this week's edition of Overdrive. But remember, you can stay in touch with the team through our various social media platforms, and you can write to us on Instagram and YouTube as well. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye. Many thanks for watching.